Plaintiff Matthew Griffin worked with the defendant, but after the defendant and his girlfriend rented a room in his house, he realized the defendant was a high school dropout who smoked lots of marijuana. Matthew is suing the defendant for bills and the cost of a recliner. Defendant Zach Taylor says Matthew has some nerve talking about him, considering Matthew and their other roommates made and sold moonshine. Zach believes Matthew is trying to overcharge him for the bills.
Start with you.
All right. When I moved up to Buffalo in June of last year, I started working at Red Lobster up there, where I met Zach and Taylor. He was a dishwasher, she was a server, and I was a cook. I got to know them a little bit. You know, they were very hardworking. They did their jobs and things like that. It wasn't until till they moved in that we discovered that he was into drugs like weed, and he would be smoking all the time, and he eventually dropped out of high school.
So you all moved out while you were in high school?
No, me and my other two roommates were out of college. So we were living up there.
So you all had a problem with him not being a high school graduate?
Yeah,
How did that affect living together? You all were giving each other tests, or what did that happen?
No, we were...
You said, we found out, all right, everything was going fine, Your Honor, but he started smoking weed, and then we found out he didn't have a diploma, and that was a terrible thing. That's what I'm asking you. How does that relate to him living with you? He couldn't speak properly when he said clean up?
It was a choice that we didn't know about, but it didn't make that much of a difference to us.
Okay, you're just making that observation today for me. Okay, all right. You want me to make him go back to school, maybe? That's what you're saying?
Well,
go ahead. All right. You found out he was a weed head and never got his diploma.
And I gave him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, I work with them and they're very good at what they do at their jobs, so I overlooked that. When it came time for them to move out at the end of August of 2013, I came home from work one night and discovered that there was a party at my house. When I got there, the lady downstairs told me that she called the cops and that they were on their way for a noise complaint because she has 2 little children.
Okay.
The lady...
Now, you all were all roommates?
Yes.
All right, and what were the rules regarding company?
We didn't have an issue. The only rules that I stated at the very beginning was no smoking weed and pay your bills. That's all I cared about.
So the only thing he couldn't do was smoke weed. Anything else? How about crack?
Well, I didn't know if he did that, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Sir, let me hear something from you.
He failed to mention that they also made moonshine, and so they sold that to several people.
Illegal liquor?
Yes.
We bought the liquor from the store. We are over 21. We bought Everclear and made flavors.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I met Matt at work. I found out he was just he's a very two-faced person because he only worked about 1 day a week. I'm working so hard. I was just trying to get out of my house. Struggles with my parents, and high school was just really tough for me. And I ended up dropping out because I had to pay these bills that he was basically overcharging me for everything with rent with me and my girlfriend. This guy just...
You dropped out because he was overcharging you on your bill.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yeah, stand up. State your name.
He dropped out before we moved in.
State your name.
Oh, I'm Taylor Fonner. He dropped out before we moved in. So
okay, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
He said the reason he dropped out is that he couldn't read the bills, or you couldn't... What did you say? Something having to do because you had to pay the bills? You just said something about the bills being connected with you dropping out.
I was just working long hours at work, sir. It was really tough.
To pay the bills?
Yes, sir.
So that's why you dropped out?
It was part of the reason, sir. I went to a military school. I was really trying to be on a good path with school.
Military school, those are great schools, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you got kicked out?
No, I didn't, sir. It was my choice to go, and
you dropped out of a military school?
No, sir. It was downtown, and I ended up going back to my old school because the transportation getting down there was really tough with my town.
So you didn't go to the military school?
I did, sir.
Like years ago?
No, it was I went
right before you dropped out.
No, I went sophomore, and
yeah, you need to get on back in there. You're not able to explain yourself, sir. Young lady, why don't you tell me? You got your diploma?
I got
or
my
GED?
diploma.
All right, let you tell me then.
I work long hours, so does Zach. He never works. Matt never works. Every time I would come home, the house would be a mess. He spends money on concerts. He plays video games all day long. I would come home and they're
Him
all...
spending money on concerts, what does that have to do with you?
It has to do with me because I'm spending...
Just like something
used
about
to-
his diploma affects his tendency. Him spending his money on concerts causes you problems. How?
He was not consistent with the bills.
Okay.
So every time it felt like every 2 weeks there would be a new bill to pay. We do have evidence.
Was he late on his bills?
He was late on one of the bills, which was in July.
Okay. He was late paying his share.
No, like we would pay him the bill, like what we owed him, and he would go pay it because it's in his name.
But that's not late if you pay it.
But he didn't pay it.
Let me get back
he took
to
our
you,
name.
man. Yes, sir. Why are you suing them?
We have a landlord who lives out of state, so we had 5 people living in a 4-bedroom apartment. They shared a room. We all agreed that we would pay 1/5 of the bills per person because there's 5 of us. So first month they paid just fine. I didn't have a problem. At the end of July, I received a message saying that they believe that I am overcharging them and that they're not paying until they see the bills. I posted the bills on the fridge, put how much each person owes, and said that I needed it paid by this date. So it was as clear as day that I wasn't doing anything wrong. My roommates were all paying the same rate, all 3 of us plus them. I never received that bill until the middle of August.
And how much was July, their share?
Their share combined would have been $144.
So they owe $144.
Yes.
All right. And then we're suing them for the recliner. I guess that's the balance.
Yes. At the party that night, I discovered after everybody left and ran out and all that my chair was destroyed. So seeing that it's his party, he should be responsible for it.
Was it your party?
It was a work party going on there, and he did not tell anyone to leave at all the whole night.
Was it your party?
Yeah, it was, sir.
Okay, very good. And you approached him about the chair, and what did he say?
Nothing.
I didn't know anything about the chair, actually.
This is your first time hearing about it today?
Is. Yes, it is.
You never even mentioned to him, I want my money for the chair?
Well, I figured since it was done at the party, they would have known about it.
I'm not granting you that, sir. Now, the 144 for August.
He is only asking for 110 when he wrote it on the fridge, and he's asking for 144 without gas, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, so you want more. Add the gas in.
The gas would have been...
He said you're not charging him enough. He says
if we were to...
you are charging him for only 144, and that doesn't include the gas.
I dropped
How
the
much
gas.
is the gas?
The gas was
He doesn't want you to
97.
drop it. How much?
The gas was a total of 97.
97. All right, so we got the gas too. 144 plus 97.
The 97 would be divided by 5.
So you
That
don't
was
want the
total.
gas.
I just dropped it because it was such a
He
small...
said-
All right,
He
so
said-
you dropped it, but you want it.
He said, no, sir. That's not what I was saying at all. He said it was 110.
Sir, he says your share was 144. Do you say your share was less
He wrote
or
here.
not?
He wrote here it was 110 with the gas, sir.
All right, let's
With
see
the
it,
gas,
please.
sir. There you
I
go.
have the bills here stating that I was under what I said.
Why don't you subtweet about it?
That,
Paid
yeah,
by-
that was written on
Paid
the
by
bill.
the end of. And
That's
he has
not a
some
bill. That's a piece of
scratching on
paper
here.
you wrote down.
Room
We never saw.
I've never seen a
rate
bill.
equals 110. Zach equals 110. You never saw the bill? You
I've
showed it?
seen
Posted
one bill,
right on
and
top
this
of
is
that.
the only one that we've seen. Do you
Let's
have
see what you have.
it? It is this one. And
Well, how much do you owe? How much do you believe you owe?
I
We-
could not tell
we-
you because
we
every
paid him-
Okay, well, he can't tell me. So I'm going to grant his judgment because he tells me, and he's very clear, and you can't. 144 is your judgment. Have a good day.
I still think you're a scumbag.
I had the bills to prove it, so I just want it to be done and over with.
Yeah, we've never seen any of the bills.
You didn't even show the judge a bill.
He didn't ask for one, so I didn't need to prove it.
Yeah, you're still a scumbag, so I don't really care.